Hi, crystal balls. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please think about sticking around, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. For everybody else, thank you so much for being on this journey with me. I highly appreciate every single one of you, especially as I kind of been struggle busting with my health recently. I really appreciate you guys being here and continuing to comment and support. And thank you so much for my Patreons. I really, really appreciate all of you guys. Just a quick note before we get started. I do have a lot of people who are wonderful and asking me to do readings on certain people, and unfortunately, I keep forgetting. If you guys want to comment on this particular video or join my Patreon and comment there, honestly, I see Patreon a lot more, but I want you guys to be able to ask and um, be able to get your requests in, obviously, because I want to do this channel for all of us. Please, please, please comment again here. I'm trying to get everything in one place, and unfortunately, my memory is shot right now. I also just can't necessarily pick up and read a certain person right away. Like today, I'm doing Brittany Murphy. And yes, I've done a Brittany Murphy video before, but there's something weird going on. And she's been chattering. Other people, there are times where I can pick up and do a reading right away. You suggest, I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that right now. But others I can't. So if you guys could just please put those in the comments here, that would be wonderful. It would help me out. Again, I'm trying to get in one place so I can see them all, but yeah, that might just be a pipe dream. But anyway, like I said, we're going to be doing a video on Brittany Murphy, and just a couple of things before I get started. I'll put I'll put the time when I start in here. If you want to skip ahead, Brittany Murphy and her husband Simon obviously were found dead in their home in Beverly Hills. There has been new interest in this case, but it's coming from Britney Spears, and that scares me. Britney Spears sold her house to Brittany Murphy and her husband Simon. This is the place where Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake lived, but both of them had very odd experiences in the house. And they said it was otherworldly or paranormal or odd. And there's a lot of explanations for that, but to turn around and have two deaths within 6 years, the house claimed two people. It's odd. The whole situation with Brittany Murphy is odd. I did an extensive research and blog about her. Unfortunately, my blog was taken down, but there was a lot of information about Brittany Murphy and what could or could not be happening. But um, I'm going to start even before I get the cards. This is what I was met with today, which was I literally had to gasp for breath about 10 minutes ago. And I felt like I came out of a dead sleep and could not breathe like that. And it still hurts my chest. Like I kind of pictured myself asleep. But this was Brittany Murphy that was showing me this attempt on her life was one of many. And she was convinced right away that that was not what was happening. So she came out of a sleep struggling for breath. And she was not with it. I feel like she was ill or something of that effect. I don't think she was under the influence of drugs. I really don't. And while the girl was kind of crazy, it doesn't mean that she was under the influence of drugs, even though like talk screens said X, Y, and Z. There wasn't anything illegal. And yes, you can abuse legal prescriptions, but you know what I mean. I She told me directly that this was one of many, but she was told, reassured multiple times by her husband and her mother that this was um, a seizure or some sort of a medical trauma that was happening to her. Um, let's see what she's got to say here. We might have a visitor here in a moment. That was Bowie. Okay. Um, these cards are the Rider-Waite Smith tarot cards, the eliminated ones. So I will put that in the description if you guys want to take a look at those. All right, so we're just, Brittany, what do you got to tell us today? Happy family. This is, they were working on a family. I think Brittany wanted to get pregnant. This is hope for family, hope for um connection, something more. Um I feel like she was very isolated from part of her family, but she lived with her mother. So clearly she was at least on the surface close to her mother, but I feel this immaturity with Brittany, very much like mommy, very childlike. And I think it was a mentality that she had that she just never grew past. Um, I do think she did suffer from some mental illness, but she had such a connection to her mother that it was toxic. It was difficult for her. God, somebody was feeding her bullshit and stealing her money at the same time. They were on the surface, they were trying to make things seem like they were good, like they were fair, like th- everything was swung the wrong way. Look, that it was all about money, it was all about appearance, but this person was getting drained. There's no justice here. There's, especially with like the way this card is going. It is really like I'm feeding you bullshit. And the thing that honestly needs to be addressed is not. It's not equal. It's not good. Um, it's all an illusion for, I mean, this is all setting up to a happy home, a happy life. This is what she wanted more than anything. Um, she wanted the illusion of family, um, happiness, things like that, and that's perfectly normal. A lot of people do that, a lot of people want that, but this seems very underhanded, meaning that she was being fed bullshit. Um, I almost want to equate this, and please no one take offense to this. This is what I'm getting. Um, IVF treatments. I don't know if anything about that, but if she was getting IVF treatments, she wasn't getting what she paid for, if that makes sense. Um, I don't know if that means because the success rate wasn't working or she wasn't getting the proper. Okay, if this was happening, and this is just a big if, remember this is all allegedly, supposedly for entertainment purposes only. When she went to the doctor, she got the proper thing. Okay, whatever shots, whatever hormones, whatever. Doctor had nothing to do with it. But when she got home to get the shots administered because she didn't do them herself, I think you have to do them in her butt, if I'm right. But it doesn't matter. She didn't do them herself. Somebody else did them for her. That is when something different happened. I feel like they were really harming her. This was a nightmare. She was living a nightmare there. She was being kept in a constant state of fear. She keeps telling me that she woke up multiple times like this, like I'm having trouble breathing. I'm having trouble breathing. Like I know she supposedly had pneumonia when she passed, and yes, that is very damaging. You can completely die from that. Um, But the way it went down in the 911 call, that's all out there. Y'all can listen to it and see for yourself. But it was an odd situation, especially the CPR part. Um, she was living a nightmare. It was like I'm being gaslit is what I'm being told. Like I'm living in a constant state of fear, and people around me are using tactics to keep me afraid and keep me on edge and not see what's going on around me. Um, she was unequipped for the battle that was going on around her. Um, she wasn't going to make it out of this. As long as she lived in this house, in this situation with these people, she would not have made it out of this. And Um, yes, her husband had something to do with it, and yes, her mother had something to do with it. Allegedly, supposedly, all for entertainment purposes only, but they weren't the only ones. There was somebody else um, almost funding this situation, um, making it happen, and you're like, why? Brittany Murphy was just an actress, and you know, oh, not even a good one according to some people, but sorry, that wasn't nice, but it's true. Um, two different paths here. So she's telling me it's like there was two different lives happening even within her own house. Like she was scared to be in the home. She was scared of the circumstances, and she was too weak. Like they made her very, very weak to see the reality of the situation that was happening around her. Like it's like keeping somebody sick, like Manchurian by proxy type thing, in order to get attention, but also not to have the person that you are doing this damage to revolt. Yes, she was their moneymaker. Um, but I still feel like she saw something that she wasn't supposed to, and she was going to fight it or whistleblow it, but that wasn't going to happen. They weren't going to let that happen. Like, judgment here was a huge judgment on her factor. But I believe everybody around her made it impossible for her to be in a healthy situation to be able to whistleblow. Um, Whistleblow means basically I'm going to tell the secrets of something very bad happening. Um, there's a whole situation where Brittany Murphy might have been involved with international incidents. And to my knowledge, to everything that I've been able to find, there is no connection at all. And that doesn't honestly mean anything because that's what we can tell as people who research. As a blogger, that's what I did before and poured into tons of hours of research and could not find anything that matched. But it doesn't mean anything because we don't know what happens behind closed doors. But this was big. And I feel like she was tortured at home, that she was being kept in a cycle, being kept sick in order to not do what she was going to do, which was to say something. Um, Good for her. She was a fighter. I mean, I can see that. She definitely was a fighter. She wasn't as weak as what she was portrayed. She wasn't as stupid as what she was portrayed either. Like a lot of people really believed, like the dumb blonde type thing with her. Um, no, I this is going to be difficult to talk about, and I don't, the Manchurian by proxy and things like that are just theories. This is also a theory, but when I mean theory, this is coming from the reading and coming from what I can hear from Brittany, but um, this is a diagnosis that I hear, and it's not something that I want to say I, Lisa, am personally diagnosing. This is what I'm hearing through the cards and through Brittany Murphy. Okay. So there is, yeah. Okay. There is a possibility that what I am hearing from her is the reason you saw so many different Brittany Murphys with different accents, with different public personalities, is she had dissociated identity disorder, DID, formerly known as multiple personality disorder. If she didn't, she was made to feel like she did. And she felt very, very alone. Um, some of you don't have DID necessarily unless you have repeated childhood trauma. I can't remember the exact ages, and forgive me, somewhere between 3 and 14, like during your formative years of life. It might even be younger than 14. Um, Repeated trauma. And she's nodding at me at great length, like nodding, 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 like, yes, 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 yes. I had repeated childhood trauma. And that's just one thing. I am not diagnosing her. Okay, that's kind of what I'm saying here. It's what she's telling me. It's what the reading is telling me. Um, she's nodding very profusely that that is what happened to her. I do think she split off. The way she's telling me is, I believe that she split off and had, I mean, it was a lot. 33, 63, something like that, different personalities. Um, there's going to be a repeating pattern with numbers with her that you're going to see now. There's going to be something that's coming out soon about her because of Britney Spears' inquiry, which worries me for Britney Spears because I think that puts her in danger. But you're going to see a repeating number pattern. I don't know if it's the dates of the death. I don't know if it's the date of her husband's death or whatever. The address number, you're going to see repeating numbers. And it is indicative of the personalities. But she's telling me that the personalities have nothing to do with what happened to her. But it's something that may come out that is going to be used against her. And that definitely makes me furious because that's it's a mental disorder that is very real, and people need to be educated and protected when it comes to DID. um it's not She did have an internal battle, but I feel like she learned how to work and live with her system at by the time of her death. And somebody is going to use that against her, like, mm, medical. There's a medical issue here. There's a medical leak. There's something that's going to come out that is different than the original story. The original story basically is she died of pneumonia and whatever legal drugs she had in her system. Um, Again, she just keeps showing me like gasping of air, like it hurts me. It is physically hurting me. Um, that she has woken up. She woke up multiple times. She's telling me 3 times. Um, and about a 6 week to month period before she passed away, where it was practice or it was an attempt. One was practice for sure. The others were attempts. And of her life, of trying to kill her. And gaslighting. I kept getting gaslit. I My whole life was gaslighting. Nobody was who they pretended to be. It just, and there's something about her mother. Her mother, I'm again allegedly, supposedly for entertainment purposes only, her mother kept her as a little girl. Her mother kept her very dependent and convinced Brittany Murphy that she was a lot more ill than what she was. Um, mentally, physically, like basically she manipulated the situation to make sure that her daughter would have her around. And there's something that happened between the mother and her husband Simon. And I don't know if it was an affair. Um, she's kind of just shaking her head in the negative at me, that that wasn't necessarily the case, but there was some sort of, okay, sick bond is what I'm getting. There was a sick bond between the two of them. And between the two of them, their plan backfired. I don't know what that means. She's telling me that there's an, okay, like there's an old computer, like it was old for the time, that has all of this, has information on it. Not all of it, but it has a trail of what happened. Quickly, again, this is getting long and I'm sorry. She told me that her and Simon are not together on the other side. He's not around her at all. Um, she was pushed out of this life for a reason. And she keeps shaking her head in the negative again, telling me basically she doesn't want she doesn't want anybody to get hurt learning the truth about this whole situation, but she wants the truth to come out. So it's really hard on her. She actually has a very big heart. She's a very kind, loving, big heart, and she does not want anybody to get hurt, but she says a lot more people got hurt by the silence of what happened, and it's a possibility that people will still get hurt until the truth comes out. And she tells me that a version of the truth will come out, not the entire version, but keep picking at it. Okay, I'll keep picking at it. I do these raw, so if I silence, I'm sorry, I'm listening. um She's saying something about share, Sheer, share. I don't know who that is. Share. I mean, it's not like share and clueless. No, share, Sheer. I don't know. Um, it's not like she's not talking about fabric. Somebody's name, female, short for something else. I don't know who that is. See her? Or you're saying see her or share? She may be saying see her. Seeher. If you can't understand me because I mumble. See her or share. Interesting. Um, Unfortunately, no, she's talking at such a high pitch that I can't hear her. Um, this happens sometimes, especially when a spirit is very excited or really trying to get their point across, but it's beyond my hearing. That, I mean, she's very, very passionate about something. Patience. There's another male involved with this outside of her husband. Um, Younger male. I don't know. I don't think Simon had any children that we knew of that was younger. Something tells me, again, there's a fertility thing here. It was hidden behind fertility, allegedly, supposedly for entertainment purposes only. Don't come at me. And if you don't agree, just simply move on. um, there's a fertility thing here. I don't know if Simon had a child. If he did, he would have been in approximately in his 20s at this point. Um, Mother. There's somebody else involved in this. It's a younger male. It could, if it's not a biological son, it's some partner, somebody that was very much involved in Simon's life. And when I mean partner, I mean like a business partner, not necessarily a lover, but that would not be out of the realm of possibilities because he had them. And there's nothing wrong with that. Please, no judgment. This is just what I'm seeing here. But the particular partner that I'm talking about here is a business partner. Um, it's like he took over the role after Simon died, and now the mother is connected with him. All right. More communication is going to come. Again, I can't hear her any longer. Like, she's here, and I can hear loud pitch noises, but it's beyond my hearing comprehension. So there's going to be more communication, guys. I'm going to be doing another video with her um, when there's a little more calm and a little more, but she's got a lot to get out. She's got a lot to get out. I don't know if I'm even going to use the cards next time, but I'm just telling you what she's telling me is I have a lot to get out, and I want you to hear it. So you're going to be hearing more about Brittany Murphy through my channel, but you're also going to be hearing more about her in the public. Trust very little, but trust Britney Spears is what she's telling me. Brittany knows a lot more. Brittany Spears is actually highly psychic. And so was Brittany Murphy. Okay. Food for thought, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this slash reading, channeling conversation. Again, all allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, supposedly. And I'm not diagnosing anybody. I'm simply repeating what is being told to me through reading and through Brittany herself. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you can put in the comments about people that you want me to read, even if you commented on another video, if we can try to keep it in one place, that would be awesome. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I really, really appreciate it. And remember, every single day is a gift. Use your time wisely. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.